training or repetition training is the fastest pace range that we'll train. It's faster than interval training. Here we're gonna be going faster than VO2 max, faster than 5K pace. And the primary purpose of this workout is to develop our top end speed. All right guys, so today I'm gonna take you through my workout. I'm trying to work on some speed like I mentioned in one of my videos earlier this week. So I'm gonna be doing a cycle focused on really fast top end speed, mile race pace, a lot faster than 5K race pace, maybe 30 to 40 seconds faster than that 5K pace. I'm gonna take you through my prep for these workouts, including what I do the night before, how I set myself up for success, and also how I execute on these workouts and how to think about some of those physiological benefits that we're getting from this style of workout. So every great workout starts the night before. Got the clothes laid out here, got my smart wool gloves, my feature socks, my hat. We're gonna go double layers here because it's gonna be 39 when I'm running this. So got 2 shirts, got a little shorts and pants action. And for shoes, we're gonna go with the trusty old Takumi Sen tomorrow morning. Hadn't been running in the plated shoes, but got my goal race done in the Vaporflies. I've been running a lot of workouts in Mach 5s and Rebels, but gonna go back to the plated shoes a little bit in this next cycle, rotate these in with the Rebels. I'm really excited to get these back on. They have just a nice simple and fast feeling, which is perfect for this mile race pace style of workout. My daughter helped me pick out my warm-up shoes, so that's why they're laid out like this, but this is what I'll be warming up in tomorrow, the Audi Zero SL. I don't love running warm-up and cool down in the Takumi Sen just because they are extremely narrow. The upper isn't that comfortable, so I'll typically like to warm up in a daily trainer. Then I'll switch into the Takumi Sen for just the faster portion of work for that workout. A little late night snack here. I usually like getting to bed before 10 p.m. on these workout days, but you know what we got going on tonight. Hopefully see either the Texas Rangers get their first World Series win or the D-backs pull off a pretty spectacular comeback, so we stand up tonight.
Just to run the bases knowing that we're that much closer, Phil Bird. Marcus, congratulations. Thank you. Over to Tom. Down for that last pitch. Surreal. I mean, the way the offense came in.
A little bit later than ideal, but that World Series celebration was worth it. Inspirational, you know. Got the water laid out for first thing in the AM. Pro tip. Happy Thursday. So only got about 6.5 hours of sleep because I stayed up late watching the World Series. It's probably worth it because I love watching sports and I don't watch that much baseball, but when it's the biggest game of the year and you get to see all that hard work pay off for the guys who won, you also get to see the guys give it their all for the guys who lost. Just love watching championships no matter the sport. So 6.5 hours of sleep, not great, but my workout this morning shouldn't be too taxing, so it's not too worrisome. If I were deep into a half marathon or marathon build like I was last year, I would try to get that 8 to 9 hours of sleep to make sure my body was fully rested and ready to go. I am feeling a little bit tight still from that Tuesday workout I did, which was a 3x2 mile workout. I ran that in the Boston 12s and I started at about a 6:30 pace and progressed it to the last rep to a 6 flat pace. Actually, the last mile I did at 5:44. I have about an hour and a half before I have to take Mace to school. I'm gonna drive her to school today because the greenway that I'm gonna run at is right next to her school. It's very flat, there's no turns. It's the perfect greenway for running these 200-meter repeats. Man, it's 30 and it's gonna be 30 to 34 when I start this workout. So I may need to rethink my layering strategy and I may be keeping the pants on for the whole workout, but we'll see. Here we go, Takumi Sen. Boom. Audi zeroed out this morning. Oof, man, 28 degrees. It's cold, Mace. What do you think? Alright guys, so I just got to the greenway here. It's pretty cold this morning. It's 28 degrees. So I'm gonna get my warm up in, do probably 2 miles, just run down to the end of the greenway and back, and then switch my shoes into the Takumi Sen. Kind of wishing I brought the Boston 12 or something that I would just do the whole run in, warm up, workout, and cool down included, because it's really cold and switching shoes in the cold is not that fun, but I committed to the shoe switching today, so we're gonna do it. Goal of this workout, running fast reps, is to develop good running mechanics and to work on anaerobic speed. Now, most of the distances that we are going to race as recreational runners, from the 5K to the marathon, those are all aerobic distances. They rely on the aerobic system, pumping as much oxygen into the blood as we can, getting more efficient at using oxygen, at burning fat. This anaerobic style of running, where we're going to be running fast at mile race pace, that is going to be working a completely different system, the anaerobic system. We're going to be working on power, we're going to be working on speed, but it's still super important to help us develop good mechanics, good neuromuscular coordination, and overall round out ourselves as athletes, especially because distance runners tend to neglect speed work. All right guys, so cold or not, we got to get to work. You know, I grew up in Massachusetts, but I am not built for this anymore. 28 degrees, I am freezing my butt off. Also, pro tip, EVA-based shoes are not gonna be the best for the cold weather, because the cold temperature does harden up the shoes. So these Adizero SL, which are usually the perfect amount of firmness for me, today they feel like absolute bricks out here in the sub-freezing temperature. So I'm really looking forward to getting out of these into those Takumi Sen. Gonna finish this warm up and then save the camera battery, so I'll hit you again when we're into those working reps. Morning. Sorry for the obstacle. All right guys, warm up done. Time to change into the Takumi Sen and get these 200-meter reps done. All right, I'm on rep number 7 now.
Haven't run fast like this in a while, so it's taking me a little bit to ease into the pace, catch on to what the pace should actually be. Also need to take a little bit more recovery than I'm used to. This should be 2 to 3 times the recovery of the working rep. So I'm shooting for about 38 seconds for each 200 meters. I think I've been between 30 and 40. Also haven't been exactly accurate with hitting 200 meters each time, but that's not the point of the workout. It's not exact accuracy. It's just getting a feel for that pace and trying to hit it as close as possible. I'm gonna try to finish strong here these last few reps. $10x200 miles in the books. My camera died, so quick shooting this on my phone right here. I'm gonna take my shot at a few lactate threshold mile reps. Just the juices are flowing, want to finish strong here, see what I have left in the tank, and then I'm gonna cool it down a little bit, get 8 to 10 miles on the day. All right, guys, so I just finished up. That was an absolutely brutal workout. I did those 10x200 meter reps first, and then went into 3x1 mile at lactate threshold. First rep of that lactate threshold, I was at about 540 something. Then I think it went up to 550 something. And the last rep I was at 542, just to give everything I had. One of my goals for this next training block is to improve my lactate threshold so I can get faster in that half marathon distance. And today was an absolute banger of a workout to kickstart that next phase of fitness. So gonna head back home, and when I get to that desk, I'm gonna break down some more benefits of these repetition style workouts and go into how you can execute and implement some of these into your training. All right, guys, back at home, gonna get some recovery food in, got the tofu scramble, gonna get some toast, then I'll hit the desk and break down the workout strategy for you all. All right, guys, so back in the office now, finished my 10x200 meter repetition workout with those 3 miles at the end at lactate threshold pace. Ended up going 540 to 550 on those with 400 meter recoveries in between. So that was an absolutely brutal banger of a workout. It was some Daniels-esque savagery, and I'm glad to have that one in the bag. I will get to my thoughts on the shoe here in a second. This is one of the best fast day shoes still. But before that, I wanted to dive into the book of Daniels, straight from the man himself, to let you know some of the theory behind why we do this faster repetition style training. Even if we are endurance runners, right, you're training for that half marathon or marathon, there is a lot of grounding in faster speed that we can do to take our performance to the next level, especially if we've been doing a lot of halves or marathons over the past year and haven't worked that top end speed recently. So for Dr. Daniels here, in his framework of training, our training or repetition training is the fastest pace range that we'll train. It's faster than interval training. Here we're gonna be going faster than VO2 max, faster than 5K pace. And the primary purpose of this workout is to develop our top end speed. Now, from the words of Daniel himself, he says, the primary purpose of our training or repetition training is to improve anaerobic power, speed, and economy of running. So what that means is to put the most power down. We wanna have good form for each of those reps. We wanna be recovering enough between those reps, and we wanna be putting out our maximum power for the duration of those times. So if you find yourself fading during a repetition workout or getting slower towards the end of reps, getting slower toward the end of that working set at rep 8, 9, or 10, that means you're taking it a bit too fast. So for me today, I felt in the middle, maybe I was pushing the pace a little bit too much. Also, my watch tracking was off. Apple Watch is not the best for these types of workouts, but the point is you want to stay controlled. So when I felt that I was going out a little bit too hard at the beginning of reps, I pulled it back so I could have a smooth but fast pace throughout the entire rep. Now, this is not meant to be an all-out sprint. This is closer to a mile race pace that you could handle for a few minutes. This is going to be all about technique when you're running it, and you really want to make sure you're getting at least 2 times the amount of time and recovery that you're getting for a working rep. I was running those reps at around 38 seconds. That means means I should get about 1.5 minutes of recovery jogging back to my starting point. Now for this style of workout, I like to go point A to point B, running the same stretch of the greenway over and over again, because with the watches, they're not gonna be that accurate, and I just didn't wanna manage, if I was running down 5 miles of greenway, manage looking down at my watch to know when each rep should be starting and stopping. I used a bench and some other markers that existed there just to know, okay, I'm gonna start every time at this point, then I'm gonna stop here, and then I'll jog back to the start and do it again. That's a good way to do this and just take off some of that mental work. I really do not like having to add in any extra mental work on top of these already physically taxing workouts. Now, on the note of recovery, there's one last thing I wanted to leave you with straight from the book of Daniels. He says, consider the purpose of the workout to improve speed and maintain good mechanics while running fast. However, if you cut the recovery time, you may not be adequately recovered to run 400s at, for example, 70 seconds with good mechanics. And struggling is not accomplishing the purpose of the workout. So for this workout, we really don't want to be going in the tank. Maybe we'll be getting our heart rate up there to that lactate threshold range I was today, but the purpose isn't to blow out our heart rate. It's not to blow out our lungs. It's not even to blow up our legs. It's to consistently be running fast with good form to improve our technique and to improve our efficiency, which will then trickle into our running economy and allow us to run at a higher fraction of that pace with better form at our marathon effort. One last little piece of guidance here from Dr. Daniels is that when we're thinking about structuring these workouts and tailoring them to our individual training volume, the amount of working reps that we're running should not exceed more than 5 miles or 5% of your weekly total. So if you are running 50 miles per week, you should not be doing a repetition workout where you're going to be doing more than 2.5 miles in working reps. Similarly, if you're running 130 miles per week, you shouldn't be running more than 5 miles of working reps, because it's either 5 miles or 5% of your weekly volume, whichever is less. All right guys, now my thoughts on the Adidas Takumi Sen. So this is designed as a 5K, 10K racer. It's extremely light. It has this Light Strike Pro supercritical TPEE foam. And it has these energy rods. I believe they're glass fiber, not carbon fiber down here. So I swore off of carbon fiber plated, any type of plated assisted shoes for my last training block. I'm now adding it back in. One, because I just want to have fun and I want to run in all the great carbon fiber bladed shoes, but two, because I decided for that last training block, I really wanted to focus on lower leg strength. I wanted to focus on running with good form, not assisted with any of these plates. But now I'm focusing on building my volume back up again, and I'm not too worried about getting that assistance from a plated shoe. These shoes are designed to help improve recovery, make it a bit easier for us to run, and I'm totally okay with getting that help right now. Takumi Sen just felt great out there. This is a pure running shoe. It just feels like a rocket when you lace it up. The upper is not the most comfortable, which is why I like to warm up in a different shoe when I'm doing my working reps in these. So today that was the Audi Zero SL. But once I got out there for those working reps, it was just a really fun feeling shoe, and it felt like I could kick. It felt like I could extend my legs with perfect form, and it felt like it encouraged me to run a bit more on my toes than I normally do, which was perfect for this faster style of workout. I recommend the shoe if you're training for a 5K or a 10K. This could be a good option for racing. I know that we have those max stat carbon fiber bladed shoes out there like the Vaporfly. I found the Vaporfly 3 just a little bit too soft for me, but this is going to be a really great fast training option. You likely won't want to use it for daily miles. Definitely not a recovery running shoe, definitely not a long running shoe. But if you're going to be doing this repetition style of training or even interval style training where you're doing longer working reps, maybe up to 5 minutes, this is a good shoe for that style of work. Now I do have to note, when I was doing my cool down, I'd run a little bit more down the greenway, so I wasn't close to the car to change out to my shoe, so I ended up cooling down for 2 miles in these. Not the best shoe again for that, because the stability just isn't there and the comfort isn't there. It's a very narrow platform, so it encourages you to run with good form. The downside of that is when you're tired, when you're running slow, it's not going to be the most comfortable, and you have to work a little bit more to stay grounded and level when you're running at a slower pace. All right guys, thank you for watching. Hope you learned a little bit more about repetition style training today. I'll be back with another video tomorrow, so I'll see you then.